seems to be well, so we'll go in just a few minutes. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Red Barn Radio. I'm Renee Collins, and along with Brad Becker, we welcome you to Red Barn Radio's 597th live concert performance, now in our 16th broadcast season. Tonight, we are so pleased to present a program of great live music with the Jeff Richey Experience. JRE is a quartet of seasoned bluegrass, folk, jazz, and rock musicians based in Berea, Kentucky, who are dedicated to performing and recording original music composed by bassist, lead vocalist, and band leader Jeff Richey. Electric and eclectic since 2013, that's JRE. Please welcome the Jeff Richey Experience to the Red Barn stage.
We're really happy to be here. Thank you very much. You have filled the house, such as it is, more or less. So we're very grateful. And I want to say a special thanks to Warren, who helped set this up for us, and to everybody here who's been so kind to us this evening. So we're going to start off with a tune called If You Only Had One. If you knew you had just one more day to live, what would you do? Would you seek familiar comforts or reach out for something new? Would you go away and be alone or seek a friend or two? If you knew you had just one more day to live, what would you do? What would you do? If you only had one person you could love, who would it be? Is it someone that you dream of in a private fantasy? Is it someone standing with you now whose feelings you can see? If you only had one person you could love, who would it be? Who would it be? We sing life one day at a time. Some verses rhyme, some don't. Nothing to fear as long as we're here. Tomorrow will come or it won't. or dive in the sea below, or walk upon the surface of a planet no one knows. If you only had one destination left, where would you go? Where would you go? If you only had one face to wear each day, how would you choose? Would you don the mask of happiness, or dare to grieve and lose? Or smile a comic opera, or break down with some blues? If you only had one face to wear each day, how would you choose? How would you choose? Just one more day to live, what would you do? Thank you very much. Randall Conn
Good
here
evening,
on the
and welcome to
left
Red
here.
Barn Radio. Wherever in the world you're listening, welcome to the music of Kentucky. The stations listed on Red Barn Radio's main page, and many others, also stream Red Barn Radio to your computers and portable listening devices. Visit Lex, Lexington, Kentucky's Convention and Visitors Bureau. Planning a visit to Lexington or just looking for more information, Visit Lex is on the web at visitlex.com. We're more than just bluegrass. Red Barn Radio is brought to you with the help of the folks at Lex Arts, who provide Red Barn Radio with this great performance hall and also oversee and develop a wide range of programming initiatives. We also thank their president and CEO, Nan Plummer. Lex Arts, creating a great American city inspired by the arts. We'd like to thank Sim's Pizzeria and Soda Fountain for supplying food each week for our musical guests and volunteers. Chef Greg Scott and Sim's Pizzeria and Ice Cream Parlor is located just minutes from Lexington in historic Wilmore, Kentucky. Sim's features a modern interpretation of classic diner fare with daily blue plate specials and world-famous pizza. For more information, see Sim's Pizzeria and Soda Fountain on Facebook. The Twisted Cork, Lexington's only drive-through full-service liquor store and bar. They feature craft beer, wine, and all your favorites. The Twisted Cork has live music Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday nights and hosts the Red Barn Radio Open Mic every Sunday evening. For more information, they're on the web at twistedcorklex.com. Room 17 Productions, a nonprofit organization telling the story of Professor Emeritus Sarah Holroyd and promoting music education through oral history, preservation, and live performance. For more information, Room 17 Productions is on the web at room17productions.com. The rest is history. The Griffin Gate Marriott Resort and Spa is Red Barn Radio's guest accommodation partner, providing hotel accommodations for our musical guests. Located in the heart of bluegrass, horse, and bourbon country, the Griffin Gate Marriott Resort and Spa is the ideal choice for your next visit to Lexington, Kentucky. Get our Red Barn Radio app by downloading Berea in your app store. The Red Barn Radio app is powered by Berea. AccuPrint provides printed programs each week for our audience members. For all your printing needs, AccuPrint is on the web at accuprint.us. Remember, you can follow Red Barn Radio on Twitter and hopefully like us on Facebook. Now here again is the host of Red Barn Radio to tell you more about tonight's performance.
JRE is Jeff Richey, bass and lead vocal, Randall Conn, steel, banjo, and dobro, Robert Rorrer, guitars and harmony vocal, and Mike Berheide, drums. Let's give them a round of applause. Like many performers who perform on the Red Barn stage, the band members have day jobs. Jeff is a professor of Asian Studies, and Mike is a professor of political science at Berea College. Robert is an alum of Berea College who played with Jeff in the Berea-based acoustic quartet Mud Pie. Randall is a Berea native and longtime roots musician in the region and co-proprietor of Berea's Music Major. Try that again. Randall is a Berea native and longtime roots musician in the region and co-proprietor of Berea's Music Makers. Randall Conn is a member of the regionally renowned bluegrass band Blind Ricky. Please welcome the Jeff Richey Experience to the Red Barn stage.
Thanks again. We sure do appreciate y'all being here. That last tune was called If You Only Have One. This one's called Let It Shine. It can't be taught, it must be learned. To love another and be loved in return. To walk through fire and avoid getting burned. This is a place, this is a time. Let the light of love within you shine. You always knew it way back when. Misplaced it somewhere buried deep within. Had little visions of it now and then. This is a place, this is a time. Let the light of love within you shine. One more time. This is a place, this is a time. Let the light of love within you shine. Greatest joy you'll ever know. Plant a seed and watch it grow. Hey! One little word can make it so. Well, this is a place, this is a time. Let the light of love within you shine. One more time, one more time. This is a place, this is a time. Let the light of love within you shine. Let it shine, Randall. Everywhere but here. Focus on the far away, ignore the near. Constellations turning in your inner ear. This is a place, this is a time. Let the light of love within you shine. One more time. This is a place, this is a time. Let the light of love within you shine. Oh, let it shine, 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 let it shine. Oh, let it shine, 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 honey, let it shine. Oh, let it shine, 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 let it shine. We're from Berea, sort of. We're not all from Berea originally, but this guy is. Randall Kahn here on the lap steel. Give it up for Randall Kahn. The rest of us just get to live in Randall's hometown, or near it anyway.
And bask in his glory.
That's right. Well, we're just a bunch of middle-aged guys who like to play music together. Some of us are more middle than others. like the upper end of the middle. Like anyway, moving on. We're going to do songs that sort of represent where people from our era come from in one way or another. The next song is really a medley, and it's two songs that run together. The first one is called "The Day John Lennon Died." How many of you remember where you were when you heard that news, or dimly aware of it? Probably most of us have some clue about it. I was a little younger than some folks, but I do remember it. It made a huge impression on me, and partly because I was a little too young to have experienced John Lennon when he was in the Beatles, so I don't remember that time period. But I certainly remember the death and the aftermath of that. And this song is sort of about what it feels like to be born in a time just past a moment that a lot of other people celebrate and glamorize. And a sense of, that was weird. How did we get here? So this is called "The Day John Lennon Died." 1980, what a year. Sincerity gave way to fear. Innocent of politics, I tried to find a reason, find a rhyme. Stranded in a soulless time. Rescued on the day John Lennon died. John Lennon died to set me free, to hear my drummer differently. As children of the 70s, we yearned for years that had made our mothers cry. The day John Lennon died. Never thought that I'd fit in that Ronald Reagan corporate skin. I heard the news that day, oh boy, I cried. Always knew I'd never be someone who had those memories. All I have's the day John Lennon died. John Lennon died to set me free, to hear my drummer differently. The children of the 70s, we yearned for years that made our mothers cry. The day John Lennon died, Mr. Chapman and his gun, brother-seeking bastard son. He was not the only one. Whether his tree was high or low, by its branches I was sanctified. Walls and bridges pass away, I never will forget that day. December 8th, the day John Lennon died. John Lennon died to set me free, 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 to hear my drummer differently. As children of the 70s, we yearned for years that made our mothers cry. The day John Lennon died. The day John Lennon died. deep water, pale moon, storms are coming pretty soon. The sea is so big and my boat is so small, too tired to row, but too careful to jump, too frightened to fall. My boat is so narrow, the sea is so wide, no dry land horizon, no place for a poor lost sailor to hide. Rain is pouring, thunder roar, chart and compass overboard. The sea is so big and my boat is so small, too tired to row, but too careful to jump, too frightened to fall. My boat is so narrow, the sea is so wide, no dry land horizon, no place for a poor lost sailor to hide. Surprise, surprise, your belly alive. Arise, arise, open your eyes to see the sun. Pale moon, storms are coming, storms are coming. I said that storms are coming pretty soon, pretty soon, pretty soon.
Thank you very much. That last one featured Michael Berheide on the thunder.
Well, now here is Red Barn Radio's Brad Becker to talk more with JRE.
All right, thanks, Renee. Nice to be here. I can say that I'm having a nice experience from the Jeff Richey experience. How about the audience? You all enjoying the experience so far? All right. Hey, Jeff, why don't we start by chatting a little bit about the sort of combined places and experiences that constitute where you're from?
Me individually or this band altogether?
You officially, you personally.
Well, I'm a native of Savannah, Georgia. I was born and raised there until I was 16. Then my family relocated to the western North Carolina area near Asheville, North Carolina. And it was when I was in high school in North Carolina that I didn't know it at the time, but I formed the ambition to do what I'm doing now, which was to play in a band that hardly ever plays and doesn't make a lot of money. There was a success.
Yes.
There was a band in Black Mountain, North Carolina in the mid-'80s called the Dogs of Pompeii. They were strictly a cover band. There were no originals whatsoever. That part of it I'm not so interested in. But they were great. They were dentists and lawyers and construction site supervisors and whatever, about 5 or 6 of these guys. They seemed to be a rotating cast of Dogs of Pompeii. Anybody could be a Dog of Pompeii on a Friday night, I guess. Anyway, and we would go down. It was there was only one club in Black Mountain that was all ages at that time. And so this is, if you wanted to, go hang out and listen to live music and you were under 21 in this relatively small town, about 5,000 people, this was the way to do it. And these were the soundtrack. And I just thought, oh, this is great. These guys are having so much fun. They're my parents' age, but they don't seem to let that stop them. They're having a really good time. And I thought, one of these days, I don't know what's going to happen between now and then, but I want to be there then. That's what I want. So here we are.
That's nice.
I don't know what else you want to know, but
well, I want to know lots more. But let's just go back to what you were saying. So, was there a point in your musical life where you felt like maybe this could be a vocation, or maybe this is something I really want to dive into deeply and give a go?
I would say about every 20 minutes during graduate school. It was
yeah,
it was
sure.
a strong temptation. But no, my first semester of college, I toyed pretty seriously with being a music major. I'd done a lot of jazz. I'd gone to a good high school in Savannah that had a huge jazz program, and that's a very good jazz town. When I was 13 and 14 years old, I was playing upright bass in Dixieland bands on River Street in Savannah, and that was just kind of what you did on the weekend. So it kind of seemed like a natural trajectory. But then I looked at my friends who were music majors, and they were so unhappy. And I thought, gosh, I don't know. For me, it's called playing music, not working music.
Why? Yeah. Why do you think they were unhappy?
Well, I can't.
Do you think that it was just that they came into musical school? Into music school sort of with kind of a dream about what it would be like to delve into it academically, or?
Could be.
Yeah.
Or they may have realized that what a lot of music majors, and Robert was a music major, so he can speak to this, but a lot of music majors realize you really have 2 majors in college. You have music and you have everything else. And it hits you from both sides, and it's a little bit, I think, like being a science major. There's a lot of time in ensembles. There's a lot of time with groups. You got to put in hours that you don't get academic credit for, because if you don't, you won't be able to make the grade. And I think they were just overworked, really.
Yeah. Robert, what you're nodding.
That was pretty much my experience at Berea College. It's, of course, a liberal arts college, so I had my music classes, and I had, like Jeff said, everything else. And this is, at the end of the semester, people get their grades, and they, have like 4 or 5 things listed on there, 4 or 5 classes. And I'd have 8 or 10 or 12, but some of them were just like a quarter credit, or, essentially 1 credit hour each. So it's like, I had voice lessons, I had piano lessons, I had concert choir, I had chamber singers. When I was in the band, I also had band and jazz band. And it was just ridiculous. We kind of felt like we were the most overworked people on campus, except for the nursing majors.
And the faculty.
No, we didn't feel that way. Yeah.
And you have to
kind of thought they had it easy.
I thought that too, but you know what?
and Robert, yet when you're doing a music major, you have to focus on either doing performance or what?
Performance or music education, or right. You could take the easy route out, which I did. I went general music, so I didn't learn to teach or perform.
And
I just,
as you can see.
But I can analyze a Bach chorale. It's like nobody's business.
You learned to play.
I learned to sing. Voice was my main instrument at Berea College. They didn't actually have a guitar teacher at the time.
Oh, that's changed.
Yeah. Oh, it's so changed so much.
Send your guitar
I
playing
want to go
children
back.
to Berea.
Hey, Jeff, what about your bass education? How'd you end up picking up the instrument and delving into it so deeply?
Sure. Well, when I was in fourth grade, 9 years old, they passed out stringed instruments. I went to a fairly small school, and we didn't have a marching band or sort of a brass band type situation. So they went the Suzuki method route, and they gave us all violins and violas and cellos and basses. And I really wanted to play the bass. I really, really wanted to play bass. But at 9 years old, I was a little too short, I think.
Was it an electric bass?
Oh, no, upright bass. I
Oh,
started
they
on
had
upright
upright.
bass.
Good.
Yeah,
Nice.
and for years played it exclusively. So I played cello kind of as a, okay. But I would irritate my cello teacher because I really didn't like playing with a bow, ever. Still don't really like that sound on an upright bass. Cellos sound nice, but basses, it just sounds like somebody's going, anyway, I don't care for it. But I would irritate my cello teacher because I was constantly wanting to play walking bass lines on the cello, because that's sort of what bass was to me, hearing jazz records and sort of early Beatles records where Paul McCartney's walking a lot. I thought, that is the sound, that's magic. So as soon as I could, the bass player graduated or moved on or something, and I said, that's mine, I'll be doing that now, right? And so I did. And around the same time I discovered playing jazz as opposed to just listening to jazz, and it really just took off from there.
And are you self-taught, or as far as your
No, I
jazz?
took classical lessons on cello and upright bass for many years.
You have some favorite bass players?
Oh, wow.
Many?
Yeah.
How about in
Living
jazz? How about a
Dead.
couple in jazz and then a couple in rock?
Sure. There's an Israeli bass player who's working today called Omer Avital, A-V-I-T-A-L. I think he's just fantastic.
Oh, I knew, academics, you're going to name somebody that we don't know.
Oh, he's great, but I think unless you live in New York or France or Israel, you don't get to see this guy play live too much. So I'm working on that.
But we can hear him, though?
Absolutely. He's got
Okay.
several albums out.
So what you may need to do at some point in time is spell that name for us. Not now, but so we can remember
Sure.
it. Yeah. Go ahead. Who else?
Charles Mingus was a touchstone for me growing up. And I think partly just because he's a bass player that was very authoritative and really punched through the sound of any band he was in. You couldn't miss the fact there was a bass player in a band that had Mingus on it. But also he was a composer and a band leader. And he was really interested as a musician in balancing composed, scripted stuff with improvised stuff.
Neat.
And in a weird way, in a kind of more pop idiom, that's what I'm trying to do with this group.
Yeah, good. I was just going to ask you that. So he's a teacher for you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Anybody else? Any other players that come to mind?
All the usual suspects.
Just so many.
James Jamerson from Motown, Paul McCartney from the Beatles.
Yeah. Well, it's cool. You're doing a lot of stuff over there while you're singing. There's you all listening on the radio. I'm sure you can hear the bass lines are not simple on many of these songs. You got a lot of action going on, and was it for you ever challenging to learn to express yourself vocally while you were deep into the rhythm that bass is?
Yes. I think it's really difficult, actually.
Yeah.
And I think it's like other things. You just have to do it over and over and over again badly until you start to do it okay. And it becomes sort of second nature. But yeah, there are certain tunes that we have in the catalog that are a little harder to sing while playing than others. But I think any bass player would tell you that. Peter Cetera would tell you that from Chicago. Sting would tell you that. It's Jack Bruce, who's another touchstone
Peter
for me.
Cetera, yeah, right. But
Really difficult, but it can be done.
yeah, it can be. I'm talking with Jeff Richey, and he leads the Jeff Richey Experience. They purport to be from Berea, but they're actually from a number of places. They have a CD here. It's got 2018 on here. We'll talk about this later on, and we'll also talk about some of the symbols that are on here as well, which maybe will be a good segue into Asian studies and that kind of thing. Perhaps. Perhaps. All right, good. Let's welcome back the Jeff Richey Experience.
Thank you very much. This next one's going to feature our drummer, Dr. Berheide. And it is called Waiting on the Rain. it's 10:30. Clouds are coming in again. Got no reason to complain. I'm just waiting on the rain. Feel that breeze, changing keys. The sun to shine. Can't control what is not mine. Just a king inside my head. Guess I'll get my fortune read. Feel that breeze, changing keys. Watching mourners to and fro. Felt the funeral in her brain. I'm just waiting on the rain. Yeah, I'm just waiting on the rain. Yeah, I'm just waiting on the rain. Thank you. That was our tribute to New Orleans second line rhythms, Bo Diddley and Emily Dickinson, all in one.
Just to cover lots of ground.
Let's see, I think it's time for Robert to change guitars. Time for me to turn off the scary sounds. And I want to make sure folks know who all we've got up here. This is my colleague, Dr. Mike Berheide, on the drums back there. I've been at Berea College for 16 years this year. Just got the plaque. When I was not at Berea College, I was at a small college in Ohio a couple of years before I came here. And the last semester I was there, I was in the job market, and I was interviewing at Berea. And there was a kid in my class named Brian Berheide. And it turns out it was this guy's son. But I didn't know Mike at this time. And so I thought, this kid seems all right. But I didn't know anything about him. Didn't know he's from Berea, nothing. Just a good kid, just a good student. And so at the end of the semester, I said to a couple of students, you know, it's been fun, but I'm going to leave. I'm going to go to this play called Berea. You've probably never heard of it. He's like, oh, yeah, I know about Berea. I've been telling him about you the whole time. He was feeding intelligence back to the search committee. And he lied.
And yet, here you are.
That's Mike, and then here's my colleague Randall Conn here on the lap steel. He's going to transition. He sounds pretty good, doesn't he? Randall's our newest member. We've been together for almost 5 years. 5 years this October. But while this lineup hasn't changed, the drummer, the guitar, and the bass player, we keep sort of every 2 years. People get sick of us and they move on, and we bring somebody else in. So we started off with an electric guitar player on lead. That's right. Well, they're on shuffle. In any case, then we had a saxophonist for a couple of years, and that was great. And now we've got Randall, who's really very versatile. He's going to play banjo for us as well, and so you'll hear lots of different sounds. We're going to do one of our earlier tunes. It's called Avaricious Blues, and Robert gets it started.
Well, that money you ain't got, it's burning up and hot to buy the precious things that attract you. Empty pockets, full desires will set your fields on fire, but the money lenders offer still distracts you. Without credit, only Satan will still beg you. When you moved in upstairs, you commenced to put on airs. Your old car wasn't good enough to drive in, but this world will pass away, and you've many a debt to pay. Despite the luxury that you thrived in, go out in the body you arrived in. Yes, you will. Avaricious blues, from your head down to your shoes. You act like you ain't heard the news. Everything you win, you lose. Randall Kahn, everybody, on the steel. The smallest little thing will set your blood to sing. You're ever sinking deeper in the mire. Once you had not, by now too much you've got. 'Cause it's a disease of the heart that acquires that gold around your neck will turn to fire. Yes, it will. Avaricious blues, from your head down to your shoes. You act like you ain't heard the news. Everything you win, you lose.
Thanks. We're a little unsure about the order of things, but we think we're going to continue and play another song here. This is a song called Starfish. It's the title of our third album. We just released album number 6 on April Fool's Day, which was also Easter, right? So, you know, you can take it however you like. It's either a glorious resurrection or total folly. Probably both. This is our answer to, I don't know what is our answer to. It's sort of my Beach Boys song, right? I'm from the water, I love the beach, I love things like that. But it's, yeah, that's the answer. What do you get when you cross the star or the fish? Here we go, Starfish.
Starfish, throw your arms around the sea. As for me, I think I'll let sandcastles slip away eventually. Starfish, throw your arms around the shore. But before, I think I cannot fight the current or the headwind anymore. The setting sun still will shine at a different place and time. Life has no reason, but it rhymes, you will be fine. Starfish, throw yourself into the sun, having fun. But for contrast I need shadow, and that never hurt no one. Starfish, throw some sand into the air, I don't care. But you better watch the way the wind blows that stuff everywhere. Setting sun still will shine at a different place and time. Life has no reason, but it rhymes, you will be fine. Throw your caution to the wind without end. But I'll bet I'll see it coming back someday around the bend. Starfish, throw me something, Mr. Please. Don't you tease. With so much sunlight in my eyes, there's too much day to see. Setting sun still will shine at a different place and time. Life has no reason, but it rhymes. You will be fine. I will be fine. We will be fine.
Thank you. So we're going to have a little costume change here. Our steel player is going to turn into a banjo player. Yeah, he walked in and nobody knew he was in there, but now the secret's out. I'd like to say a special word of thanks to anybody who's listening online right now or will be listening on the radio in the future. And also deep gratitude to some folks I know in the audience. Gina Kahn's here, Joan English is here, Sue Bowman is here, Becky Berheide is here. There's some last names that should sound familiar there. But also my colleague Liang Liu from University of Kentucky here, and my former student, Jessica Frazier, is here. Thank you very much. So your secret's also out.
We also have another world-class musician in the building, Mr. Elmer Burchett. all-around multiple instrument player, good friend of mine.
We're getting ready to do
see
the.
me.
Sorry, go ahead.
Didn't nobody come here to see me?
Aw, but now they're all your friends. So, something like that. We're getting ready to do the last song on the new album, the one that Brad was talking about earlier. Maybe we'll get a chance to talk about it. It's really two songs. The first song is called Life Song, and I'm a father. I have two sons, 17 and 12. It's like a lot of the songs I've written over the last couple of years. It's really a song to them, about growing up and hoping the best for those young folks that we bring into this world. And then it turns into a kind of strange song, which doesn't have anything to do with my kids. Don't read anything to that, called Icarus. So let's make sure we're all tuned and ready to go here. This is our Celtic/heavy metal number. More Celtic than metal. Take it away. Yep, nice and crisp.
Fly away, birds, do not stay. Leave home behind you today. The world far below you's a map that can show you direction so you'll find your way. Who knows how far you will go? There is so much left to know. Fly and be free, the better to see everything that the world has to show. Spread your wings. This is your life song, so sing. Let it ring. This is your life song, so sing. Are clear, can't see the future from here. Get used to surprises and blessings disguised as misfortune when they first appear. Don't be afraid to fly high. You'll never know till you try. Don't listen to voices that take away choices. Your one limitation's the sky. Spread your wings. This is your life song, so sing. Let it ring. This is your life song, so sing. Song, but now it's done. It's time to find another one. Don't let your wings melt in the sun. not here. What he had won't disappear. I hope it's greater than I fear.
Now we're done.
Thank you very much. Banjo alert.
There we go.
I stand corrected. Someone
Yeah.
did
Nice to hear the banjo. You know, it used to be that you couldn't even be on this program unless you had a banjo in your band. And yeah, we've stretched out a little bit over the last few years. We are excited about this part of our program because it's our opportunity to give something away. And so you all paid for a ticket, and we got a stub for you. We're going to just do a simple thing, and whenever we have a drummer, it's always great to have a little drum roll when Renee dips in here. Oh yeah, just while you're about to take a break, right? A little drum roll.
There we go.
Yeah, that was cool. I felt like David Letterman or something for a minute. Hey, the first thing goes to Greg H. And this is, let me tell you, Greg, before you get up, Greg, I want to tell you what this is. This is a CD by the New Kentucky String Ticklers called Generations. The New Kentucky String Ticklers were one of the early bands who was on Red Barn Radio back in the early part of 2000, 2004, I guess, something like that. Great pickers, terrific album, and I'm glad to be giving it to you. All right, you want me to meet you halfway? Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, here you go. All right. Hey, that's Greg H. Hey, Greg, thanks for coming tonight. I'm just assuming that everyone, we will be giving things only to Jeff's friends, colleagues, family, or students. Right. Okay. All right. Okay. One more drum roll. Yeah. It's very empowering, that experience. I like that. The next item, which is, this is a CD by a band we have not heard of before. It's called the Jeff Richey Experience. Interesting. No, this is the new CD, The Horse, the Rat, the Dragon, and the Snake. And lovely of you to put this up as a gift to the audience. Yeah, so, yeah, give me a hand. How about that? And who might be the winner of that? Yeah. Dave S. How about Dave? Oh, Dave. Dave is just so taken by this experience. Okay, Dave, that means you have to come up here because of that faux that you made there. It's nice to see you here. Hey, thanks for coming up. Hi, nice to meet you. Where are you from, Dave? Are you a family member of Jeff, or your brother?
Not that I am aware of, no. From Ontario.
Oh, all right. How wonderful. Are you visiting the area right now?
On our way through home.
Oh, how terrific. All right. And how did you happen to hear about the program?
Okay, now this is where the connection comes in.
Okay, come a little closer to the microphone because this might be a
This is
neat
where
story.
the connection comes in because the Mr. G.H. over there is the guy who brought us here.
Oh, come on. All right.
So we kind of cooked this whole thing.
Very nice. Either you did or we did. How cool. Well, that's great. It's lovely to have you here. And I hope when you come back from Ontario, you'll come back through town. And...
Oh, I think we will.
Good, good. All right. Well, here's the Jeff Richey Experience CD. Cool. All right. Very nice. Photo opportunity. That's Dave S. And now we're going to just make a few announcements before we kick off the second half of our show.
And this portion of Red Barn Radio is brought to you with the help of Sims Pizzeria and Soda Fountain and their chef Greg Scott, providing food for our volunteers and musical guests. Located in Wilmore, Kentucky, in the historic Sims building, just minutes from Lexington, it is the oldest continuously operating pharmacy in Kentucky, open since 1880. There's more information about Greg and Sims Pizzeria on Facebook.
Don't drive by, drive through. That's the Twisted Cork, Lexington's only drive-through full-service liquor store and bar featuring craft beer, wine, and all your favorites, and also live music on Wednesday nights, Friday nights, and Saturday nights. And then on Sunday night, they host the Red Barn Radio open mic every Sunday evening, and that will be starting at 5:30. Come and make sure you get a seat. They are located at Partner Place, just off Clays Mill Road. They're on the web at twistedcorklex.com.
Room 17 Productions, a non-profit organization telling the story of Professor Emeritus Sarah Holroyd and promoting music education through oral history, preservation, and live performance. For more information, they are on the web at room17productions.com. The rest is history.
The Griffin Marriott Resort and Spa is Red Barn Radio's guest accommodation partner. Located in the heart of bluegrass, horse, and bourbon country, the Marriott Griffin Gate Resort and Spa is the ideal choice for your next visit to Lexington.
Sounding good right now. AccuPrint is Red Barn Radio's print provider, known for their quality printing here in Central Kentucky for over 34 years. Choose AccuPrint for all of your printing and promotional product needs. For more information, AccuPrint is on the web, accuprint.us. We also would like to welcome the listeners of Global Community Radio to our Red Barn family. You can now hear our program streamed every Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern by going to globalcommunityradio.blogspot.com. Let's try that again. You can hear our program streamed every Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern by going to globalcommunityradio.blogspot.com. This all begins next week, and we are so excited about this, Brad. We will also be heard on Global's growing list of radio rebroadcasters, and among them, KAKU, Kalalui, Maui, Hawaii, KCPK, Pine Mountain Club, California, KIEZ, Monroe, Louisiana, KLQS, Agua Dulce, California, WLRI, Gap, Lancaster, Pennsylvania, WLSL, St. Leo, Florida, WMS-DB, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, WMUU, Madison, Wisconsin, WNPA, Canton, Ohio, WRAQ, Angelica, New York, WRST-FM, Oshkosh, Wisconsin, WWLR, Lyndonville, Vermont, WXDR, New Orleans, Louisiana, WXIR, Rochester, New York, and WYAP, Clay, West Virginia. Wow. We welcome all of our new listeners, and it sounds like there's going to be a lot of them, Brad.
A host.
On Global Community Radio and the Red Barn Radio network of stations.
All right. Thanks, Renee. Welcome, folks, to the second half of tonight's Red Barn Radio program. We're brought to you live from the Performance Hall at Arts Place here in the great city of Lexington, Kentucky. Please welcome back, folks, to the Red Barn stage, the Jeff Richey Experience.
We're going to do a tune that we hope is true to its name. It's called Beautiful.
Fireflies illuminate darkened skies for those who wait, a bigger bang for those who dare. Bits of stardust everywhere. The world is beautiful. The The world is terrifying. Sometimes the world's so full, makes me feel like crying. It's beautiful. Fireworks communicate the colors of our love and hate. Some promises were made and kept, other ones died while we slept. The world is beautiful. The world is terrifying. Sometimes the world's so full, makes me feel like crying. It's beautiful. Fireplace incinerates the ash that's left behind, creates another forest standing tall, another half deserted mall. The world is beautiful. The world is terrifying. Sometimes the world's so full, it makes me feel like crying. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Beautiful. It's beautiful.
Thank you very much. We're going to do the first song, having played the last song on our new album that our Canadian friend now owns. We are going to play the first song on that album. It's called When You're Back in Town. What could be more appropriate, right? A. Disappeared into thin air. Now you're not here. You're everywhere in wordland.
sleepless nights. Will all our wrongs turn out alright? Everything comes around, everything lost gets found, everything ends up upside down when you're back in town. Inside my skin, I'm tightly curled. It's just too thin for this rough world where you belong. I cannot fit. Pain makes you strong, but I'm not there yet. Everything comes around, everything lost gets found, everything ends up upside down when you're back in town. Objects seem closer than they appear when you are gone. I know my mind, I can move on when you remind me. Everything comes around, everything lost gets found, everything ends up upside down when you're back in town. You're back in town. You're back in town. You're back in town.
Randall Conn on the banjo, folks.
Now let's welcome back Red Barn Radio's Brad. I knew I was going to mess it up sometime. That's true. That's true. Now we're even, right? Let's try it again. Now let's welcome back Red Barn Radio's Brad Becker to talk more with JRE.
All right. Hey, I'm with the Jeff Richey Experience. They formed, I want to say it looks like 5 years ago. And they have a lot of music to listen to that you are not hearing on tonight's program. Maybe a slightly different configuration of players and some somewhat different kinds of collaborations that Jeff was talking about earlier. So you've got a lot of music you can listen to if you go to Jeff's website. Is that right, Jeff?
There is indeed a website.
Oh, very good. All right. Is it JRE?
It's ReverbNation.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
/JRE.
Yeah.
We're also on Facebook and the usual suspects.
Yeah, sure. Okay, great. Well, it's great to have you guys here, and I really am enjoying the music and really like the different sounds coming through there in the collaboration. You know, I like the slide and the banjo both. You want to talk a little bit about Randall? Do you mind stepping up to the mic? You said you wouldn't mind talking a little bit, right?
A little bit.
So, Randall, playing the instruments you play, which I don't think anyone thinks of those instruments as jazz instruments, or instruments that sort of fold into this experience necessarily. You're holding right now something, the PowerSlide, an instrument. I don't know that I've ever seen that particular one. Tell us about that.
Well, this is a PV instrument. Ran across it on the internet when I was researching an electric dobro, believe it or not. And, it's called the PowerSlide. It's kind of a revolutionary thing in lap steel and guitars. Been around for 4 or 5 years, I guess.
Revolutionary how?
The pickup, the way the pickup works, you actually have 2 different sounds of pickup, single coil or humbucker, all in one knob. So
Cool.
You can get a lot of different sounds out of it.
Can't you just put a humbucker and some other stuff on? I was wondering what David Lindley played, with Jackson Browne.
I'm not sure.
You remember that sound?
Yeah.
Because the sound, some of the sounds, the settings that you have sound Lindley-esque.
Totally accident, I'm sure.
But it's very, very nice. Well, that's a cool instrument. So, but you also play an acoustic dobro, and do you have a bluegrass background?
Yeah.
Okay.
Heavily bluegrass. Joined Jeff and these guys. I've met them in their recording studio, believe it or not. I engineered their projects.
Oh, you did. So are you a
Starting
sound
with
engineer?
-- 1, I guess, right? Yeah. I think I did all your projects, correct? Yeah.
Oh, no kidding. Okay, so that's how you guys. So I'm sorry, I interrupted you earlier. Are you a sound engineer then, or?
Just by self-taught experience. Yeah, me and a friend of mine have a music studio and a little music store in Berea, Kentucky. And we got into recording. We have a little bit of recording equipment, and
Neat.
One band led to another, and eventually we're starting to get a little bit of a name, and we enjoy it. It's a lot of fun.
How about it? How cool. Can you tell us anything else about that business? What's the name?
The store is called Music Makers.
And what's there? If you can,
Old Town Studios is what we call the recording studio.
Okay.
And we do instrument repairs, give some lessons, and have a recording studio. Nice. And an occasional instrument sale. So
do you pick up used instruments? Do you pick up old things?
We do some trading and that sort of thing. It's really our man cave.
Yeah.
So it's a way to get away from our wives, and they know where we're at, and we're safe, and
It sounds really cool. I would like to fill out an application to join you. Thanks. Love what you're bringing to the music, and I was just going to ask you: has this been a special challenge for you to fold into this with these instruments?
It has. Bluegrass and this style of music are just totally different worlds. But what I tried to bring to this is just to fit the music.
I just want to know what style of music this is.
We'll save that for later.
Yeah, it's interesting. They've always said, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but they've always said you can really take just about any rock song and turn it into a bluegrass tune. But going reverse is a little more challenging.
A little more challenging, yeah.
Yeah.
It has been a challenge for me. This is a different feel, but I've really just strived to make it fit, and that's the goal. So
it
hopefully
fits.
I'm being successful.
It's fitting. It's really neat. It's great mix of sounds, and I know that's part of what the experience does, right, Jeff?
Yeah, you can't play Earl Scruggs banjo on some of the Jeff stuff. So.
No, it's true, but you're playing in Earl Scruggs type of banjo. Jeff, talk about collaboration. A lot of people, especially people in jazz, like to collaborate. And I'm thinking of a guitarist right now, a jazz guitarist who's had so much material.
Bill Frisell,
yes,
maybe?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And all of the collaborating that he's done, which I've always found really fascinating. And so he experiments with different sounds, classical musicians, folk musicians, bluegrass, runs the whole gamut,
Yeah. Louis Armstrong once said all music is folk music. He said, I ain't never heard a horse singing no song. And I suppose that's true, right? All music is human music, right? So far as we know. So the idea of genres and stylistic limitations, at least as barriers, is not make much sense to me. Gateways, maybe. Doors between rooms.
Yeah.
That's good. And in that sense, the JRE's house has many mansions or whatever. There are lots of rooms that we traverse together. Yeah. And we couldn't do it without the varied backgrounds of everybody in the group.
Yeah, so you always want to have that.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah,
very much so.
Well, that's neat. It brings a neat sort of whatever alchemy, I don't know if that's the word, to what's happening. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really trying to do two different things with this group, and these guys are nice enough to go along. One of them is it's a vehicle for songs, right? So everything we play, I write. After a really long time of playing lots of other people's music, it seemed like it was time to play my own music before who knows what happened. So I was glad to have that opportunity. But the other thing is I really like to jam. I really like to stretch out on instruments with other people. I think one of the things that's changed in the age of YouTube, I see it in my kids' generation, is that a lot of kids don't play with each other musically. They play to a monitor or something like this, or maybe just alone by themselves with a record. And that's, you can really develop some certain kind of chops that way, but you never really learn how to listen. You don't really learn how to groove with other people. And I guess I just came along at a really good time in history where it was sort of normal for teenage boys in my neck of the woods to play in bands. So virtually all the school dances I had growing up, it was my peers entertaining me. And I come from a pretty musical area, James Brown played my parents' prom in 1966.
Oh, yeah.
So I mean, this is, just up the road in Augusta. So anyway, that interactivity, that sort of excitement that happens when you get people who are confident on their instruments and are open, that's really irreplaceable. So what I'm really trying to do is get both the kind of jam band and the singer-songwriter thing going on all at the same time. So
yeah, I'm under the impression that an experience that you had sort of made your life pivot a little bit, toward finding your own voice in music, expressing your own ideas, composing your own tunes. Did you compose? So did you? What happened? You had an accident?
Yeah, I had a near fatal car accident in 2013, and had to have all of this left hip replaced, and broke bones in this hand, and still have fractured vertebrae, and still have some nerve damage. Had to learn how to walk again, things like this. So it was kind of dramatic.
Yeah, I'd say.
And that kind of thing tends to get your attention, or should. And I think one of the things that I figured out after woke up with the glass in the blood and whatnot was, well, okay, I'm alive. Now what do I do, right? What do I do with this this gift? And what I really wanted to do was make music. I'd climbed the ladder of my profession in many ways, sort of peaked out in terms of rank and published the things I wanted to publish in my academic career, and was really pretty happy to concentrate on some other things. And music was that thing. And fortunately, these guys were willing to help me out. And actually, I just have to say this. Before the band even started, right after the accident, I didn't say anything to anybody, but it was summer when the accident occurred. So I wasn't really in a position to cut the grass and in the wheelchair. And one day, Mike, who lives down the street, just showed up and pulled out his lawnmower and started cutting the grass. And then he came back every couple of days and did it. Nobody asked him. It still moves me, I have to say. And that's pretty typical of Mike in a lot of ways. So the fellowship or the companionship here really is deeper than the drums and the bass, even though the rhythm section connection is pretty important too.
Well, that's pretty cool. And I'm glad you're well and that you're here to play for us tonight.
Well, that depends on how well Mike drives home.
And it's great. Well, yeah. And I love the way you're moving around. It looks to me like your hip is feeling pretty good, unless you're moving around in a lot of pain, suffering over there for the art.
Titanium and cadaver bone are amazing.
Wow. Well, this has been a great night, and I've really enjoyed meeting all of you and talking about your lives and the music you play. And thanks so much for coming on Red Barn.
We sure do appreciate it, and thanks to everybody who turned up tonight. Thanks so much.
Hey, folks, welcome back to Jeff Richey Experience.
This is a tune that I wrote for a movie project that hasn't actually been made yet, so we'll see if that actually happens. But we got the song out of it. Some of you may have heard of the actor Amused. He's a Berea College alum, and he now lives in Berea. He's done a lot of TV and movies. And he had a project for something about some guys going down the river trying to figure out their lives. And he asked me to write some songs, and so this was one of those songs. It's called Brother, Son, and Sister.
As I go on my journey over land and over sea, I meditate upon my path and where it's taken me. And the more I contemplate it, the more clearly I can see that it is not I who walks my path walks through me. Raise a glass for me, brothers. Raise your voice for me, son. Raise some cane while your light still shines. Sister, save me, son. There is beauty in the heartbreak. There's music in the pain. There's a masterpiece of steady loss, a ballad of slow gain. And the more I gaze into it, the more there is to see. And the more I listen to it, the more the song's in me. Raise a glass for me, brothers. Raise your voice for me, son. Raise some cane while your light still shines. Sister, save me, son. To homeward, my back the setting sun. Let lonesome feelings guide my feet, whether they walk or run. For a man's a wandering spirit, whose time is gone and come, and whoever seeks to go back to the body he came from. Raise a glass for me, brothers. Raise your voice for me, son. Raise some cane while your light still shines. Sister, save me, son. Raise some cane while your light still shines. And sister, save me, son.
Thank you. We got a couple more for you. We're going to do one that's off the new album. It's called Congratulations. And I feel like I have to apologize. I usually try to write nice songs, songs that are kind of empowering and sort of talk about things that really matter in life. But this is kind of more like a Bob Dylan song, sort of like, boy, you really suck type song. So every now and then one gets out. It's really about people who have a lot of drama. And I probably wrote it because I'm one of those people. But nonetheless, here it is. It's called Congratulations.
Congratulations, congratulations, everybody's looking at you. Congratulations, congratulations, watching just to see what you'll do. You perfected the fine art of completely falling apart, love. Saint Sebastian, full of gods above. Congratulations, congratulations, show some other trick that you know. Congratulations, congratulations, everybody loves a good show. You perfected the fine art of completely falling apart. Love, Saint Sebastian, full of darts above. Maybe a heaven somewhere waits for you. Right now this living hell you're so into burns all your bridges and sets all these conditions for your complete remission of what's eating you alive. Congratulations, congratulations. Congratulations, congratulations, you just got a new set of friends. Congratulations, congratulations, who'll stick around to the end. You perfected the fine art of completely falling apart. Love, Saint Sebastian, full of darts above.
We would like to thank the Jeff Richey Experience for being with us this evening. Thanks to our volunteers for their help with our production each week, especially Ron Zinka, Will Paget, and Barry Albritton. Also, those of you listening to our webcast, watching us on Facebook Live, and those listening to us on the Red Barn network of stations.
We also thank you, the members of our studio audience, for supporting the mission of Red Barn Radio, which strives to present, promote, and preserve the rich musical tradition and artists of this Kentucky region. Red Barn Radio comes to you from our home, the Performance Hall at Arts Place in downtown Lexington, Kentucky. Our website has updates and further information on our guests and our program. We're on the web at redbarnradio.com.
Next week, I'm so pleased to announce that Red Barn Radio will present Prototype. This dynamic duo, Steve Newberry, grew up heavily influenced by the Motown era as well as several generations of jazz music. Brett Higgins has joined Steve to express their passion for a wide collection of musical genres. I will be counting down the days till this one. I think Brett's watching, so I'm going to wave to him. That's Prototype coming up next week here on the Red Barn stage. Once again, let's hear it for the Jeff Richey Experience.
Thank you very much. We're going to leave you with our theme song. Particularly after that car wreck, it really became the theme song. It's called You Can Start All Over. Life's a risk, a dare, a bet. I'm always glad, but I forget. Sometimes circumstances let our minds remember this. The stars shine bright in a grateful sky. The view is good from a grateful eye. Life is hello, not just goodbye. What's on your bucket list? Everything is ending, but not yet. You can start all over if you let it. Don't forget it. Ray of light, shine on me. I'm counting on your sympathy. It's getting dark, too dark to be outside here by myself. We make the way by walking it. We find the word by talking it. Sometimes we get so full of it. We need a little help, yes we do. Everything is ending, but not yet. You can start all over if you let it. Everything is ending, but not yet. Robert Rorrer on the guitar and the harmony vocal. Randall Conn on the banjo and the steel guitar. Mike Berheide on the drums. I'm Jeff Richey. Thanks for sharing the experience.
Well, folks, that's all of the show from Red Barn Radio tonight, live from Lexington, Kentucky. You can see and hear us worldwide as we stream live on the web and on Facebook Live, Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern in North America. You can donate to help the continued success of Red Barn Radio by clicking the PayPal link on our Facebook page or on Red Barn Radio's main page. From all of us here at Red Barn Radio, we wish you a great week and a good night.
We are clear. Thank you very much.